Shalom, friends, and welcome to Walking the Ancient Path, where we journey back into the language, landscape, and life rhythms of the Scriptures in a lighter, more accessible way, exploring the world of the Bible as its original listeners would have experienced it.
Today, we'll pick up our in-depth exploration of the entire book of Galatians, formatted like a living Hebrew commentary.
Let's pick up where we left off, continuing in Galatians chapter 3.
Verse 20. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one.
Now a mediator stands between two parties, but Elohim is one.
A mediator is not of one. By definition, a mediator serves when there are two sides to be joined. In Hebrew imagery, a go-between at the gate carrying words back and forth between disputing clans. But God is one. Paul recalls the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our Elohim, Yahweh is one. The covenant with Abraham was not a negotiation of equals. It was Yahweh alone binding himself by oath. Contrast with Moses at Sinai. A mediator, Moses, stood between Yahweh and Israel. With Abraham, however, Yahweh himself passed between the pieces of the covenant. In imagery, no mediator was needed because the Eternal himself bore the covenant on both sides. Paul emphasizes that the promise surpasses the mediated Torah because it is based on Yahweh's own unwavering faithfulness, not on the performance of two parties.
Verse 21. Is the law then against the promises of God? God forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law.
Is the Torah then opposed to the promises of Elohim? Never. For if a Torah had been given that could breathe life, then righteousness truly would have come through Torah.
Is the law then against the promises? Paul anticipates the suspicion, if inheritance comes by promise, does Torah stand in opposition? In Hebrew imagery, the question is whether two trails lead in opposite directions. God forbid, never, a strong rejection. In Hebrew thought, this is like pounding the staff on the ground. May it never be. If there had been a law that could have given life, Torah guides, convicts, teaches, but it does not impart life. In imagery, Torah is like a lamp that reveals the path but cannot make the traveler walk it. Verily, righteousness should have been by the law. If Torah could give life, then righteousness, tzedakah, would indeed come through it. But life and righteousness flow only through promise fulfilled in Messiah.
Verse 22. But the Scripture has concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Jesus Christ might be given to them that believe.
But the Scripture has shut up all under the power of Chata, so that the promise, through trust in Yeshua, the anointed King, might be given to those who believe.
The Scripture has concluded, all are shut up under Chata. The word kala means confined, imprisoned. Hebrew Scripture depicted humanity as trapped inside a walled enclosure, burdened by Chata, unable to break free on their own, that the promise might be given. The prison imagery sets the stage for release. Yahweh's promise is the key that unlocks the gate. By faith of Jesus Christ, through trust in Yeshua, the anointed King. Some translations highlight the Messiah's faithfulness, others focus on our trust. In Hebrew imagery, both are intertwined. Yeshua's loyalty to the Father opens the door and our trust steps us through it. To them that believe, to those who trust, the inheritance does not flow to everyone indiscriminately, but to those who hold fast in immuna, showing steady loyalty to the anointed.
Verse 23. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed.
But before trust was revealed, we were kept under guard by the Torah, held in confinement until the trust that was to come would be unveiled.
Before faith came, Paul did not suggest that faith did not exist earlier, but that the complete revelation of covenant trust in the Messiah had not yet arrived. In Hebrew imagery, the dawn had not yet broken, although flickers of light were seen in the night. We were kept under the law. The phrase suggests custody. like soldiers guarding prisoners. Torah acted as a watchman. In Hebrew imagery, a fence is set around the camp, keeping Israel enclosed. Shut up unto the faith, again the image of confinement, as if locked inside a pen awaiting release. The goal was not permanent imprisonment but protection until the right time, which should afterwards be revealed. The unveiling came with the Messiah. In Hebrew imagery, the tent flap is pulled back at last and the people step out into the wide-open pasture of covenant trust.
Verse 24. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith.
So then the Torah became our guardian, leading us toward the Anointed, so that we might be declared righteous through trust.
Schoolmaster. The Greek pedagogos was not a classroom teacher, but a guardian who accompanied a child to school, discipline, and protect him along the way. In Hebrew imagery, Torah is like a strict guardian holding the child's hand, preventing him from straying until he reaches maturity. To bring us unto Christ, leading us toward the Anointed. The Torah's role was preparatory, pointing forward, guiding until Messiah came, like a trail marker leading to the tent of the shepherd. That we might be justified by faith, once Messiah came, the goal was achieved. Righteousness, tzedakah, received not through the guardian's discipline but by emunah, steadfast trust in Yeshua. In imagery, the child grown to maturity now walks freely in loyalty to the Father.
Verse 25. But after that faith is come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster.
But now that trust has come, we are no longer under the hand of a guardian.
After that faith is come, referring to the unveiling of emunah in Messiah. In Hebrew imagery, the dawn has broken, and the child who once walked under watchful guard now steps into full daylight. We are no longer under a schoolmaster. The pedagogos custodian is no longer needed once maturity is reached. In imagery, the cords of restraint are loosened, not to cast off discipline into lawlessness, but to walk freely as sons under the Father's voice. Paul's contrast here is the Torah's role was temporary, serving as a guardian until Messiah. Now believers live directly in the covenant relationship through trust, no longer under the tutor's discipline.
We'll pause here and continue in our next episode.
If you listeners have areas of interest you'd like to explore further, questions or comments, please don't hesitate to let us know.